You are watching the news on the hour, brought to you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Zubechi Frank. You are welcome. The Archbishop of Ondo Province and Bishop of Akoko Diocese Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Gabriel Akimbiyi, has urged the Anglican bishops to dare to be different in every capacity they find themselves and to be of good service to the people, taking up the responsibilities that they have been saddled with. He made this known while preaching at the consecration service of 5 bishops who were elected at the last standing committee of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Warri Delta State.
The first obvious truth this study reveals about those who are referred to as episcopoi is that their appointment is viewed in terms of responsibility and not of privilege. My brothers who are coming in, you can now begin to understand why I will not emphasize the privileges. They are there. Whether we talk about it or not, you will find them. As a governor, as a commissioner, as a priest, as a king, traditional ruler, we should remember, we should note, we should emphasize is that you are occupying that position for responsibility, not for privileges.
Archbishop Akimbiyi also encouraged all those who have been saddled with the responsibility of shepherdship to emulate Christ, who came in humility to serve and not to be served.
If we bear this title, either in the church or in the secular world, as long as you are a Christian, as long as you are bearing this title, you must follow in the footsteps of the owner of the title, the Lord Jesus Christ. We must practicalize 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 1 to verse 4 in our ministry. We must see ourselves more in terms of nomadic shepherds in the field rather than kings in palaces, like Jesus is welcoming. And we who are bishops or archbishops, we who are being led by him, we should emulate his character of following Jesus Christ, the servant king.
The consecration service, which held at David's Cathedral Church Ijomu, Akure, Ondo State, had in attendance the Primate of all Nigeria, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas Diyoko, and clergymen from various dioceses in the Anglican Communion. The newly consecrated bishops include Joshua Oyinlola of Irele Esiodo Diocese, Ebenezer Okunyelu of Osun North East Diocese, Christian Onya of Nike Diocese, Shobanke Festus of Omaru Diocese, and Aderoba Adeyinka of Jeba Diocese. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, top PDP members and some other citizens of the country have reacted to the outcome of the Adamawa state supplementary election. It was reported that Amadu Fintiri of PDP emerged winner of the Adamawa governorship election. The returning officer of the election, Professor Andrew Haruna, who declared the result in Yola after the supplementary election in 44 units across 14 local government areas of the state, said Fintiri pulled 376,552 votes to beat his closest rival, Governor Muhammadu Bindo of APC, who scored 336,386 votes.
Amadu of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Reacting on Twitter, Atiku, some top PDP members and some citizens congratulated Governor-elect Ahmadu Fintiri on his victory in the state supplementary gubernatorial election. Here are some of the tweets. Meanwhile, the Adamawa State High Court has dismissed a suit seeking to nullify the governorship election in the state. The judgment of the court came Friday morning, hours after the state supplementary gubernatorial election was concluded, with Umaru Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party declared winner, having scored the highest votes in both the March 9th election and the Thursday return. Giving his judgment on an originating motion filed by the candidate of the Movement for the Restoration and Defense of Democracy, Reverend Eric Teman, the trial judge, Justice Abdulaziz Waziri, said he had no option but to dismiss the motion because the plaintiff submitted documents that were uncertified, and that, more significantly, the plaintiff failed to tender evidence that the logo of the party was omitted from the ballot paper for the March 9th election. As he said, the said ballot paper was not before the court. The plaintiff, represented by his counsel, Barrister Mustafa Ibrahim, had gone before the courts to allege that he was deprived of the right to be voted for in the March 9th election because the logo of his party was not on the ballot paper, even after he had been duly recognized as a gubernatorial candidate. Justice Waziri, who awarded no cost to any of the parties, advised that any party wishing to appeal the judgment had 90 days to go to the Yola Division of the Court of Appeal. Some participants at a post-2019 election roundtable have urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to improve on its logistics preparedness and internal communication mechanisms to avoid postponement of elections in the future. They advise political parties to improve on the credibility of their intra-party democracy and refrain from giving automatic tickets to candidates against the will of their party members. According to them, the federal government should prioritize the domestication of democracy in Nigeria by strengthening democratic institutions and other operational independence. The participants made the recommendations in a communique issued during the discussion to review the conduct of the 2019 general elections organized by the Kuka Center for Faith Leadership and Public Policy Research, also known as the Kuka Center, with the theme Finding a Place for Nigeria's Elections Spillovers. The group also stressed on the need for INEC to increase the knowledge of the Nigerian public on its operations through continuous dialogues and engagements beyond the electoral season. Nigeria Labour Congress NLT President Waba Ayuba has reiterated his call for salary increment for workers. Waba spoke in Abuja at the 10th National Quadrennial Delegates Conference of the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, where he lamented that in Nigeria, the poor were the ones subsidizing the rich. According to him, the inequality gap between the rich and the poor in the country is getting expanded, whereas in other countries, it is the rich that subsidize for the poor. But in the case of Nigeria, it is the poor that subsidize for the rich. He therefore urged President Buhari to bring on board people who will work for him and add value to governance. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has alleged that there is a gang up against him, members of his group, and the Biafra struggle. Kanu, who is on a self-imposed exile away from Nigeria, made the allegation in reaction to the court order revoking his bail as well as ordering his arrest. It will be recalled that a federal high court presided over by Justice Binta Nyako in Abuja revoked Kanu's bail on treason charges and ordered his immediate arrest. However, in a live broadcast on Radio Biafra, Kanu said he was compelled to make the broadcast because of what his enemies are plotting against him. He also insisted that his perceived enemies will not prevail because light is on his side. And now to business news. Huawei Technologies Company Nigeria Limited, an information and communications technology company, says it is currently working with more than 40 universities to ensure digital inclusion in Nigeria. Its managing director, Zhang Lulu, said in Lagos that the company was working with the universities in establishing Huawei Authorized Information and Network Academy. Lulu said that through the academy, Huawei was providing industrially recognized ICT certification in subjects including networks, routing and switching. The managing director said that the company is fully committed and focused on enhancing availability, accessibility and affordability of ICT services in Nigeria. We shall now go on a short commercial break. News on the hour continues in a moment. Please stay with us.
Why do we fall ill? Is it possible to stay without falling ill? Is God interested in our health? Can we get access to cheaper health anywhere? Do you want tips on how to stay healthy? Then join me, Angela Weze, on Health Watch every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. with repeat broadcasts on Thursday at 2 p.m. and Saturday at 1:30 p.m. as health experts provide answers to your questions on how to remain healthy physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually here on Anglican Cable Network Nigeria. God bless you.
Getting the best hospitality and affordable luxury is what we guarantee at our guest houses right in the heart of Abuja. Decent guest houses that offer surpassing services such as 24-hour room service, constant power supply, decent non-smoking environment, parking lot, laundry service, multi-purpose hall, minimart, restaurant services, spacious room at affordable rate. For reservation, book online at www.anglicanguesthousesabuja.com or locate us at All Saints Guest House, 29 Tamale Street, Wuse Zone 3, Abuja. Telephone 0806 699 5823 or 0805 285 5092 or Church Guest House, 24 Douala Street, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Telephone 0816-860-7024 or 0805-677-3815.
You are welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. And now to foreign news. After years of repression, Chinese authorities have shut down a Shunwang Church, one of Beijing's largest Protestant congregations, for failing to register as a social organization. Government officials also closed down the church's entire subsidiary organizations, seized their assets, and questioned more than 20 of its members. On the day of the closure, members attending Bible classes affiliated with the church had planned to meet at 1 p.m, but authorities took about 20 to 30 of them to a nearby school to question them, took down information from their ID cards, and informed them that the church had been shut down. Officials also ordered the pastor of the church to sign a document claiming the church conducted activities as a social organization without registration, which is in violation of regulations of religious affairs and regulations on the registration and management of social organizations. Despite these claims, Shunwang Church had submitted an application to the Acnn District Ethnic and Religious Affairs Bureau in 2006, but it was rejected on the grounds that its pastor, Jing Taiming, had not been officially ordained by the state. In China, clergy who do not receive their credentials from the government are not allowed to serve in churches, but many still do in unregistered churches. Moving on to sports, Nigerian midfielder Wilfred Ndidi currently tops the list of tackler in the Premier League. According to the Premier League official website, the 22-year-old Nigerian has successfully made 109 successful tackles so far this season for Leicester City. The former gangster is currently tied on the same number of points with Crystal Palace's right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Ndidi, who joined the forces 2 years ago from Belgian side Genk, is 19 tackles away from equally the feat he achieved last season for the Foxes. The Super Eagles star has so far featured in all 31 English Premier League games this season for Leicester City, scoring 2 goals. He is expected to make his 32nd appearance of the EPL for Leicester City. Just few days after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was confirmed as Manchester United's permanent manager on a 3-year deal, he has revealed that many agents have contacted the club to try and get their players a move to Old Trafford this summer and expects deal to finalize by pre-season. Solskjaer left his post at the Norwegian club in December to take charge at Old Trafford as caretaker boss, following the departure of Jose Mourinho. The Red Devils decided on the Norwegian after he led the club to 14 wins from his 19 matches in charge, leading United to within 2 points of the top 4 and into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. He will be paid just a fraction of the £15 million salary Mourinho earned during his tenure. The Norwegian is now turning his attentions towards improving his squad this summer. So it's on that sports note that we draw the curtain on this edition of the News on the Hour. I want to thank you for watching. I am Nzubechi Frank.